Hi guys, today I'm here with my Pretty Little Liars review of the season 4 finale. So at first I was confused on where the girls were, and then I was really confused when Noel Kahn showed up again, and I'm just like, I thought we were done with this guy. Like, I didn't expect him to show up again, and it's just really weird that they're bringing him back. And I thought it was funny how like Spencer and Hannah, Spencer was like, geese are not ducks, and Hannah's just like, whatever, they both quack, and he's like, geese honk. And I don't know, I love their little bites. I don't know what to call them, but they're just really funny to me. And I thought it was cute how Hannah was like, to Allie, she was like, I want to hug you and slap you at the same time. And then I thought the hashtag they put with that was so cute because it was like liar reunion. I'm like, oh, that sounds, it's weird, but it's true. And I thought it was funny how A actually called the cops on Cece, and then I couldn't believe that Cece actually told the cops that Allie was alive. I was like, are you supposed to be saying that? Like, I mean, it's supposed to be a secret, so I'm just like, what the heck? And then, Spencer wants Allie's forgiveness since, Allie seems mad at her, and you find out that the police are looking for them. And I was really confused about Melissa because I'm just like, what is she doing back? She hasn't been back for like this entire season, which is basically, I don't know, a really long time. And I'm just like, why now? It doesn't make any sense. And then, well, Allie's telling her story. She tells about how her mom and her were fighting, and I thought it was so stupid of Mrs. De Laurentiis to like just turn her back on Allie, because I'm like, Allie is kind of a problem child, so what makes you think she's not gonna just sneak out while you're not looking? And then you find out that Allie took some sleeping pills and she put them in the girls' drinks later that night, and I'm just like, why would she do that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, she explains it, of course, but it's just really weird. Like, are you serious? I was surprised to find out that she met Ezra that night, and I was like, I don't know. I thought that was weird. I'm just like, what? This episode is just really confusing. I mean, it does reveal a lot, but of course, with Pretty Little Liars, you get some answers, but you get questions also that confuse you, and yeah. You find out that the cops are interviewing Melissa, and you find out that Toby spoke to her, which I thought was pretty weird, because I'm like, okay, Toby's speaking to her? Like, they don't talk? I don't know. And then, the cops are interviewing Spencer's parents, and they have them in separate rooms, and they're pitting them against each other by saying, oh, they're on their way, they're not here yet, but just tell me what you know. I'm just like, I really hope none of them talk, because that would be really bad, because, like, who knows what they're gonna say. And yeah, you find out that Allie was actually looking up some, like, information about the book to talk to Ezra, which I thought was funny, because I'm just like, you're really trying to talk about a book just to impress this complete stranger? Like, okay. And they start talking, and of course Allie has no idea what he's talking about, but I thought it was pretty funny because he calls her a fabulist, which I guess is another word for liar, and just like, I don't know, it's just so weird, because I'm like, really, this is how you met? Okay. And I felt bad for Arya, like, having to hear about the whole Allie and Ezra thing. Like, who wants to hear about that? Like, he already broke her heart because, he isn't who she thinks he is, and now he had a relationship with Allie. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But we do find out that Ezra actually did care about Allie, which I don't know if that's a good thing, or I don't know how to feel about that, because, Ezra is, like, the only relationship we know from the beginning, so I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. And I thought it was funny how Hannah just knocked over the bowl and she's just grabbing food. Like, it's so weird, because we talk about how Hannah doesn't have her whole condition or whatever, and then she's always like, where's the food? Like, she still goes to food for comfort. So, they still keep that, like, part of her past in her. I don't know. That's just an observation I found. And, and you find out, I don't know, so you find out this other stuff, and you kind of figure that Ezra is like trying to help Allie for Arya, which doesn't, I mean, it makes sense because he cares about her, but I don't know, it's just like really confusing because it's like you never know whose side they're on. I don't know, I'm rambling, I don't know. Back to Allie's story, I don't know if it was just me. Well, it probably wasn't just me because it's Pretty Little Liars, but Spencer just looks really creepy when Allie gets back in the barn. And just like creepy, like how I said she looked creepy when she was like on her drugs or whatever. Like, I don't know, she plays that whole sick face well. Yeah, so while Allie's telling the whole flashback about Spencer and like how Spencer woke up because she was on the pills at the time, I'm just like, so did Spencer kill the girl? Because during the flashback, Spencer follows Allie, and I don't know, she's like yelling at her, and then she picks up a shovel, and I'm just like, what? Like, Spencer, are you okay? And oh, I forgot this, but like before she dropped her pills, and I was like, what is Allie gonna say? I'm like, oh my gosh, Spencer. Then this kind of caught me off guard. I'm just like, when Spencer was like, I will beg on my hands and knees for you not to tell. I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, Spencer's supposed to be the strong one, and she's supposed to know what to do, and she's saying she will beg on her knees for Allie not to tell her secret. Like, are you kidding me? I don't know, I just thought that was really, it's just so not Spencer. And I mean, Spencer's been out of it a lot, but still, it's like not her character. And yeah, like I said, Spencer picks up a shovel, and she's yelling at Allie with it, and Spencer calms down, and I'm just like, Allie, do you still not see that shovel in her hand? Like, okay, you got her to calm down, but Spencer seems violent when she's on her pills, so I would tell her to put that shovel down because I wouldn't trust her with it. And yeah, and you find out that Mrs. De Laurentiis actually saw Allie get hit, and we know it wasn't Spencer because she went back to the barn, and no one followed her. But yeah, and I'm just like, so her mom saw her get hit and she decided not to say a word. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, who doesn't say anything once they see someone get hurt? I don't understand. Especially their daughter. Like, what? And I'm just glad Spencer knows she didn't do it now, like in present day now. But yeah, so she doesn't have to feel so guilty, which, I mean, I know she didn't do it. I mean, you kind of have your suspicions because they show her that she gets violent when she's on her pills, but she wouldn't hurt anyone, like, or at least not Allie. But yeah, and yeah, you find out that Mrs. Z actually wants to bury Allie herself, and I'm just like, what? I'm just like, you practically saw your daughter get murdered. I mean, even though she's not, but it looks like it, and you decide not to say anything, which makes me think, okay, maybe she's covering for Jason, because, I mean, I don't know why Jason would hit Allie, but why else wouldn't she say anything? Like, who else would she care about that much that she wouldn't go to the cops for? I mean, and I honestly can't think of anyone else unless, Allie probably does have a bunch of enemies, but yeah, I'm just like, what kind of mother doesn't say anything when her, like, that just, I can't comprehend that. And Mona finds Allie on the street, and I'm just like, okay. And Mona's and Allie's relationship, it's not the most logical relationship, so I'm just like, I don't know. And Mona's kind of creepy, so I'm just like, is she about to finish Spencer's job? I mean, Spencer didn't hit her or anything, but I'm just like, Mona looks like she's ready to kill Allie, or maybe that's just me. And she brings up the whole, when Mona found her and stuff, and she basically says Mona was obsessed with her meaning Allie. So I'm just like, Mona was obsessed with Allie? Like, what? I don't know. I mean, because this whole time it just seems like, I mean, I don't think she was obsessed. It just seemed like she wanted to be a part of the in crowd. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, so Mona was crazy from the beginning. Like, she was never, okay, well, she was, but she was never like the sweet, innocent little nerd. She was crazy. Like, what? And I don't know, even though Mona's crazy, I thought it was nice of Allie to give Mona her makeover, and she's like, okay, now go start your new life. I'm just like, well, that's nice of her, you know, since Mona's getting her out of town or whatever. And, yeah, and, you know, Melissa knows that Spencer didn't kill the girl, so then I'm just like, did Melissa kill her? Like, there are just so many questions, because you find out that people know the truth, people meaning like Allie and Melissa, like, they know what happened in Mrs. De Laurentiis, yet they don't say anything. So that just makes me think, if you don't say anything, then it's your fault, or you're involved somehow. And, you know, then Allie admits to pushing Ian in the bell tower, so we know that wasn't A. So, I can't think of anything right now, but as far as I know, that kind of clarifies that A hasn't done a nice thing for them. I can't think of anything if A has done anything for them, but yeah, if A didn't push Ian off the bell tower, then they have, like, they don't, I can't think of the word. They can't have a heart. There's a word for this. I just can't think of it. Okay, so then, yeah. And then A finds the girls, you know, since they're sitting in that area or whatever, and they start shooting at them. And I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? And then I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, a gun with these girls, like, no one can die, because I'm like, Allie just got back, so I'm like, I know no one's gonna die, and of course, why would they kill off the main character? We love all of them. So I'm just like, what the heck? And A is, like, seriously crazy. I didn't think A was crazy, but, well, I knew A was crazy, but now it's, like, psycho crazy. Like, you should never get out of a mental hospital. You're just a mad person. And, you know, Emily suggests, when they get up on the roof, she's like, do you think we can jump? And all of them are like, no. They're just like, Emily, are you crazy? Like, that's the craziest idea ever. Which it is, but I mean, I see what Emily was doing. It looked like a reasonable jump. You know, if you had to for your life, it looked like a reasonable jump. And then Ezra comes up, and he actually saves the girl, so I'm like, okay, so it's not Ezra. I'm just like, who the heck is this person? And, yeah, I'm just like, so does he know who A really is? Because, you know, he's, like, shouting at A, he's like, I know who you are, or whatever, and I'm just like, do you? Or are you just saying that? And, you know, A shoots at Ezra, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And, of course, he gets hit, and I'm just like, oh my god, Ezra cannot die. Like, as much as I hate him for lying to Arya, for, like, breaking her heart and everything, and for writing this stupid book, I still like him at the same time, because, you know, I mean, you know, he's just been there from the beginning, and I'm just like, okay, he's not gonna die. Like, he can't die. If he dies, that's just, you can't kill him off. It's the whole Ezra thing. I mean, I know they're over, but Arya's already been through enough. I don't think she would wish for him to die. I mean, sure, get hurt, but not die. And, you know, A drops the gun, or not drops it, but loses it or whatever, and, you know, because Ezra's fighting him, and then Hannah has the gun now, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Hannah, like, you don't deserve a gun. You don't. I don't know, because Hannah's, like, she's so impetuous, she's kind of spontaneous, so I'm just like, Hannah, be careful with that, like, you don't want to shoot anyone innocent. I mean, I don't care if he shoots A, but whatever. And, yeah, so then they think they have A at gunpoint, but I'm just like, you know, they move the camera over to the building over, and I'm just like, you girls weren't gonna take the jump, so A is. And of course, A jumps over to the next building, and and then Hannah's just like, yeah, Allie, yeah, there's no way that's your mom, because that was like, I don't know, it just takes agility that Mrs. De Laurentiis could not do. I mean, unless you're like really fit and really built or whatever. But even at her age, like, you can't do that. And yeah, and at the very end, you see Mrs. De Laurentiis is being buried just like Allie was, and I'm just like, what? Like, what is going on here? And I mean, it just makes me think, I'm like, okay, so Allie was buried like that, and Mrs. De Laurentiis is getting buried like that, so is A helping, or is it just because they don't like her? Like I don't understand the motives, like I really don't. But yeah, so that's my review, and I will talk to you guys later. Toodles!